And my instant reaction is, oh, how quickly they forget. Right? How quickly they forget. As the Pope would say, no Clark, no spark. Caitlin Clark is now 2 years removed from women's college basketball. Out of sight, out of mind, women's college basketball now is. Out of sight.
That's the head coach of UCLA women's basketball. And she just said the quiet part out loud. After coaching the only ranked matchup of the day, only one reporter showed up to ask questions. One. She's now calling out the entire sports media industry for abandoning women's college basketball the moment Caitlin Clark left for the WNBA. 2 years ago, when Clark was hitting logo threes at Iowa, ESPN couldn't stop talking about women's college basketball. Studio shows, daily segments, nonstop coverage. Fast forward to January 2025, and UCLA is playing a ranked opponent while the media room sits empty. The reason is uncomfortable, but undeniable.
Clark never existed for the casual fan. We are back to those levels of not caring about women's college basketball. Folks, I didn't care about women's college basketball until I heard of Caitlin Clark. Guilty as charged. And I didn't care. ESPN didn't care. Fox Sports didn't care. Independent media didn't care. Random podcasters didn't care. They just didn't care. And now that she's no longer in college basketball,
Pretended they had always cared. Let's look at the timeline. During Clark's senior year in 2024, Iowa games averaged over 2 million viewers. ESPN analyzed her shot selection nightly. Fox Sports ran daily features. Even podcasters who had never mentioned women's basketball suddenly became experts. The NCAA championship game drew 18.7 million viewers, the most watched basketball game, men's or women's, in 5 years. Now UCLA plays a ranked game and one reporter shows up. Not because the game wasn't good, but because the player who made casual fans care is gone.
You know, there's college football playoff. You know, there's hockey. And there's that, what's that other league? Oh, yeah, the NFL is taking, yeah, there's some other things that media would rather do. They saw Caitlin Clark. They saw the hype. They saw the attention. They jumped on board. You guys really bought into the fact that they cared about you. What did they say in Temptation? Nobody care about you, Otis. They're here for me. Yeah.
People point to competition for attention. The NFL, college football, the NHL. But those existed during the Caitlin Clark era too. The difference wasn't the sports landscape. The difference was one player who made people care about a sport they previously ignored. Juju Watkins was expected to carry the torch. Then she got injured. Paige Buchers moved to the WNBA. And what's happening there reveals even more about how the industry treats women's basketball.
Vignettes talking about these players like there were 2-3 years ago. I haven't seen it. Caitlin Clark, she hit first take. They were talking about Caitlin Clark on ESPN every day when she was at Iowa. Caitlin Clark and Lisa Bluter. Caitlin Clark in Iowa. Caitlin Clark. And now she's gone, and now there's no Clark, no spark. Is anybody really watching Dawn Staley in South Carolina? No? Oh, okay. I was just asking. Shout out to...
Here's the reality check. Viewers weren't tuning in for women's college basketball as a product. They were tuning in for Caitlin Clark as a phenomenon. In 2022, the average women's college basketball game drew about 400,000 viewers. By 2024, Iowa games were pulling 2 to 3 million. But when Iowa wasn't playing, viewership stayed flat. The media knew this. They chased clicks, views, and engagement, and Clark delivered all three. The illusion wasn't that women's basketball had arrived. One player had arrived.
Comment and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that so much. My channel, not Steven's channel. I think that you have to have a broader view of growing the game if you're going to really appreciate it, as you refer to. The reality is Caitlin Clark has risen a level of fan base that has broadened it, has deepened it, that we are all benefiting from. Close said per a December 9th Instagram post from Stephen Smith's show. Let's build each other up. I think there's such a thing in that case. There's no bad publicity or exposure. No bad publicity. I mean, if you guys aren't mad at the bad publicity, then I'll cover you. I can't say I'd be too favorable.
South Carolina is undefeated and ranked number 1. LSU is stacked. Paige Buchers is in the WNBA. Juju Watkins is one of the most marketable players in the sport. Yet South Carolina games average about 600,000 viewers. Good, until you remember Iowa was pulling triple that with Clark. The tide didn't lift all boats. The tide receded, and coaches like Corey Close are left wondering where the audience went.
And this logo, yikes. This logo, let's get to it. This logo, to me, is proof that Nike just doesn't care. This is the logo that you get when you just don't want to put in any effort. You don't want to think at all. You don't want to put in any brain power. This is what the kids would call slop. Slop. Paige Buchers, Paige Bucket. This literally looks like a bucket. Like a sand bucket. This looks like you go to Home Depot, you go to the garbage section, they got those silver Barons bucket. It looks like one of those. This looks like a tin garbage can for her logo. Oh.
Nike's treatment of Paige Buchers says everything. She has a signature logo, and it's literally a paint bucket. Not an artistic symbol, not a basketball-inspired design. Just a bucket. Compare that to LeBron or Jordan. Even lesser-known male athletes get thoughtful branding. Buchers gets a placeholder logo because Nike doesn't truly believe she'll move product long-term. They're checking a box, not building a legacy.
Just since we're here, Paige is being pushed as the face of Unrivaled. Now look at the hype. Oh, it's quiet. Unrivaled starts in 7 days. They got nobody. No Caitlyn, no Sabrina, no Asia, no Angel, no Sophie. They got nobody. Nasty, nasty, nasty.
On 3 Women's League launches in January 2025 with $30 million in funding and 6-figure contracts. But they don't have Caitlin Clark. They don't have Sabrina Ionescu, Aya Wilson, Angel Reese, or Cameron Brink. 7 days before tip-off, there's no buzz, no viral marketing, no mainstream coverage. Sports outlets that once covered every WNBA storyline have moved on because star power drives attention and Unrivaled doesn't have it. Here's the bigger picture. We were told in 2023 and 2024 that women's basketball had finally broken through, that the sport itself had arrived. Caitlin Clark was framed as the face of a movement, not the movement itself. But now we see the truth. Clark didn't open a door that stayed open. She was the door. Women's college basketball viewership is down 70% from Clark-era peaks. Iowa now averages 800,000 viewers, down from nearly 3 million. In the WNBA, Indiana Fever games average 1.2 million viewers, while other teams hovered around 500 to 600K. The growth strategy assumed Clark's popularity would translate to the sport as a whole. It didn't. Closing. This doesn't mean women's basketball is doomed, but it does mean the industry must stop pretending. Sports are entertainment, and entertainment is driven by stars. That's true in every league, every era. The lesson is simple. You can't manufacture mainstream appeal. You can't guilt casual fans into caring. They care when something is compelling. For 2 years, Caitlin Clark was compelling enough to make millions pay attention. Now she's gone, and the industry is learning how much weight she was carrying. So here's the question. Is it fair to expect women's basketball to sustain mainstream interest without a transcendent star? Or is that something no sport has ever achieved? And if you believe the coverage should exist regardless, are you watching? Are you buying tickets?